Hey guys, it's Joni with Barn Chic Designs. So before I get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel. I'm trying to do more of these DIY videos for you guys, especially as I'm updating my home. We are expecting a little girl in April, so I am just nesting and trying to get everything done. So I'm going to have a lot more of these videos coming soon, just kind of different DIYs, not just cabinetry. But I did update our spare bathroom. I painted the cabinets and then I painted the backsplash in Annie Sloan paint. And I just wanted to share with you guys how I did it. I still have to get some hardware added on. I have that coming soon, and some other little finishes like around my mirror, a frame, and stuff like that. So I will just update as I go, and at the end of the video, I'll show you guys a complete finish. So anyways, real simple. This probably took me about around 5 hours to do. I did it in one day. Painting the cabinets is what I'm talking about. And Hayes went down for a nap. I started it. Well, I started it before he napped. I cleaned it. Warm water and dish soap is all I used for in here. If you're doing your kitchen cabinets, be sure to use TSP to degrease any old fingerprints, food, grease, anything on your cabinets. You really want to get that off before you paint because it will just resist that paint. And also, if you're doing a color in a closed room like this does not have very good lighting. It's just this light up here and the one above me. There's no natural lighting, so it's a lot of yellow tones. Be sure you take a swatch, like a block or scrap piece of wood, whatever you can get, paint on it, let it dry, and hold it up and make sure it's the color that you want in here. It's not too dark, it's not too yellow, not too whatever. So those are just a few of my tips. Kitchen cabinets too. If your kitchen is really dark and you're wanting to update it like a cream color, but have really yellow lighting, you may have a really creamy cast of yellow on your cabinets, if that makes sense. So you just want to really make sure you compare your colors before you paint them, because you don't want to have to go back and repaint. That's frustrating. So yeah, this took me about, I want to say 5 hours while Hayes napped. And then he woke up kind of in between snacking, in between me videoing and everything, pictures, all that. So, and then him going to bed, I think I waxed it after he went to sleep, and put the cabinet doors on and the drawers in the next day. And I'm just waiting on the hardware to arrive now. So it was a real quick finish for me. The backsplash, I did it while he was awake. I just taped off. You can see in the video, he's obsessed with tape now. So my green tape just was all over the place because he wanted to play with it. So whatever, as long as I could get the job done, I don't care. So anyway, so while he played with the tape, I taped off. I rolled it on with Annie's foam roller brush, and I will link all this stuff below. And I used her flat brush for the lacquer, and yeah, that's just about it. I mean, it wasn't too hard. So anyways, I will share all this in the video coming. So follow along. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys.
So here is the before. I updated the wall paint and the decor when I was pregnant with Hayes, but I just never really got around to painting the cabinets. And I thought, well, it's time. There's so much brown, and some awkward backsplash, tan countertops, so just too much brown for me. So I had this Pinterest photo saved in my phone for several years, and I just absolutely love the color of the cabinets, the wood around the mirror. So I thought, well, I'm going to try to achieve a similar look to that. I believe I used French linen and Oxford navy, about a 40-60 mix. And I used a little bit more French linen just because I wanted to keep those gray tones. And I just poured it in a paint bucket, and I just wanted to make sure that I had enough left over for extra paint to store in like a can for touch-ups in the future, like if my kid scrapes it or something. Just good to have around. And when you go to mix this paint, make sure you mix it really good. You don't want unmixed paint at the bottom and then you're in the middle of your project and you're getting streaks of dark or too light. It just will really mess up the color of your overall piece. And I'm just painting it on a board. I really want to see what it looks like in the actual room. We have a lot of yellow lighting in there, no natural lighting, so it casts a lot of yellow warm tones. So I want to make sure it doesn't come off too purplish or too dark also in the bathroom. So normally when I paint furniture, I just go every which way. I'm not real particular. I slap it on there. I usually distress, or if I'm trying to build a texture, I go real sloppy. But on my cabinets, I really make sure to go up and down with the wood grain. It just helps it apply for a smoother finish. So that's just personal preference. If you want that smooth finish, you can also just slap it on there, distress, dark wax, whatever you're trying to achieve for the look. If I wanted a real smooth finish, I could sand in between coats. I could use my flat synthetic brush for like the top coat, or to knock down any brush strokes after I paint with my round brush. So there's different techniques you can do, especially to achieve a smooth finish on your cabinets. You will never get a manufactured finish. You just don't. Not with this paint. You can spray it on, but I love brushing on because you have more control. You're not taping off everywhere, and you just know where the paint's going to go. So after I finished my linen cabinet, I went right back and started over on the right side of the cabinet and started my second coat because it was dry. And I did tape off inside the cabinets, and that just is personal preference again. It just looks for a more professional look. And it took me 5 seconds. So I did all the doors and the drawers in the kitchen. When you do this, make sure you map out where the doors and the drawers go. So you want to either mark with blue tape or a Sharpie on the back side, and make you a map on a piece of paper of where they all go, and even hinges. So when I'm painting the doors and the drawers, I just go around the edges, make sure you're not having any runs. Don't put it on real thick and heavy to where it's going to have like that extra texture. So here I'm just kind of showing you how I map out with blue tape. I even map out the hinges, like I said. It's just better safe than sorry. Sometimes when you put hinges back on and they're not in their original place, they will just set the door awkwardly sometimes. But anyways, I start in the grooves, and I just work my way around, make sure there's no runs on the back side of the cabinet, and then I'll work on the flat top piece. But I usually start in the grooves. It just kind of helps me get a good start, and you just kind of work it. Her paint's super forgivable, so you just kind of find a method that works for you and your cabinet doors, and you roll with it. And I paint the back side of the doors too. Totally optional. I never paint the inside of the cabinets unless like you have glass doors or something of the sort. So, but it's just an extra step I take. Just looks a little bit more professional, like I said. And I got a little paint like on the back of the cabinets and on my microwave, and I just wiped it off with some wet paper towel. So don't stress too much if you get paint on your on your floor or something like that, like on your tile floor, it will wipe back up. So I wanted to show you guys in slow motion how I wax. It's easy. You're just basically, you take a small wax brush and you're working that into the paint, and the paint is absorbing that wax, and it will start to harden after 2 hours. So then I'll take like a lint-free cloth right after I get done waxing, and I'll wipe off any excess so it can cure faster. But I love the waxing because you can spot treat. People are kind of scared of wax because it's different. It's not like your polyurethanes, your lacquers, or anything like that, but you can spot treat with it. So if you get scuffs and scrapes and stuff like that, you can take a little wax out of the can and wipe that back off. Food splatters, all that. With your polyacrylics, your polyurethanes, your lacquers, if you get a scrape or something of the sort where you have to patch it, you have to sand it all the way back down to the wood, repaint, and reseal. And even then you can tell if you patch. So wax is just super durable. I just love it. So I just do the same on the cabinets, and if I need to go back, I see spots, I'll just add more wax as I go back later in the day or something. So I decided my husband didn't complain or say one word about me painting the cabinet, so I thought I'm going to roll with it and paint my backsplash because I'm tired of it. And I painted an original, and then I did 2 coats, 2 to 3 I would say, and I rolled on the paint just for a little bit of a smoother finish, and then I brushed on the lacquer. I did 2 coats of lacquer. Super easy, super quick, fast drying, not much smell to it at all. And I had a countertop cover or contact paper that I had bought and I thought I might use, but it ended up being too stark white and too modern for what I like. So I actually went back in, re-taped off, and I did a stencil with my silhouette, cut it out, did 2 stencils obviously. I did a mix of original and French linen, maybe like a 6-to-1, and I rolled on with her roller brush, and it looks so much better. I love it. And it kind of helps dye down that tan countertop. I still don't know what to do with that countertop. I'm probably going to end up painting it or something, but I ended up skipping. It just helps for it being like the paint being dried on the stencil before you're adding your tape over it for the other stencil, if that makes sense. But the hardest part was the corner. I used a detail brush. I added tape, obviously, where the corner cut off, and then I cut the tape to fit. So basically the tape was holding all those little details together that would fly every which way if I just cut it. And I didn't get it real perfect. I couldn't get it all the way in the corner, so I just brushed on some paint with a really small fine brush. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it looks so much better. Here's my helper. He loves tape right now. So I did I brushed on 1 coat of lacquer after this, but I love it. It looks so much better than what I had before. Here is a quick reminder of what it looked like before. Just lots of brown, super dingy, and it was ready for an update. I will probably go back and epoxy or paint epoxy the countertop after I have my little girl in April. So that will be another updated video later on that we'll do. And I still have to add a wood frame around the mirror. I just got burnt out on the project and was like, I'm done for a while. I want to move on to something else. And yeah, but I did get the lighting done. I spray painted the silver light and added new globes, and it just changed the look completely. So thank you guys for following along. I hope this helps you maybe update your spare bath or your master bath or whatever it may be, even your kitchens.